Hello all. Lots been going on with the Scan and Cut Canvas design suite over the last couple of months, so I just thought I'd run through a few things for you. First up, the home screen is fairly self-explanatory and similar to what you've seen before. There was the help file link, there's the new account registration, there's the login area, and there's also the release notes where you'll see that the Canvas design suite is now on version 2.0.0. I'm just going to click on those release notes to give you an idea of what's involved in the latest update. So this update has been made to really give the design suite a facelift and b the compatibility for use with Apple and Android tablets. So you can now have the design suite on the go in a fully working, fully functioning mode. So it's not just internet-enabled tablets now, it's basically most or the majority of tablets that can work it. To do this, obviously a lot of things have been compacted into different menus, so there's a little helpful sheet here to explain where some of the familiar links and functions have been moved to. I'll give you a run through of those during this video anyway. This has also added download features for when the Wi-Fi enabled machines are released onto the market. So you'll actually see when you come to export a couple of different features. There's also now a little link to a frequently asked questions sheet, so you can now see some of the various things that other people have asked that you maybe come across and you want an answer to. So rather than having to contact help desk or anything else, you can just have a quick look through there and see if your question has already been asked and answered. So that's just a brief overview of the start area. So now what we've got is also a updated help file or instruction booklet. So that's now available to download as a PDF to print out if you need to. There's now more of a workflow situation going on here where you've got arrows leading through depending on your choices you're making and which machines that you've got. So you can see there it's obviously already making reference to the Wi-Fi enabled machines. There's also updates to browsers that have been added because obviously it's now compatible with iPhones and iPads as well as Android tablets with a 6-inch or larger display. I'm just going to sign in here, so I'll use my incredibly long login name and password. Probably need to make a cup of tea while that's going on. This bit you'll probably be familiar with. It's got the projects area, which was added, I believe, earlier this year, and also the My Projects section where you can log in and view projects you may have already saved into the cloud. So I'm just going into mine there. Again, it's just a basic layout. You've still got the edit and the download functions with each project. And also on this screen, you've got icons now representing quite a lot of things. So you can see there's a couple of different zoom levels in case you've got quite a lot of projects like I have here. What I'm going to do next though is just take a look through some of these icons above, and you've got your accounts there, you've got login and log out, my projects and the help. So I'm just taking a look at my account here, and it's showing you my details, but also down here Scan and Cut Online. This is where when the Wi-Fi machines are released you'll be able to get registered or get what you need in order to make that work. You've also got activation areas down here for some of the premium functions like the rhinestone kit and the sticker making kit, which are very, very helpful indeed. So more about those in a moment. I'm just going to click on New Project so that I can get into the edit area and show you the changes there. Now quite a bit's changed here. The first thing that I was impressed with was the retractable menu bar. So you can actually now have the full width of your screen in order to edit in. So if you're zooming in very tight, you've now got the full width of whatever screen you're looking at to play with. Obviously lots of your pre-designed sentiments, shapes, so on and so forth are included, and as you may be aware, lots of fonts have been added over time. A couple of them though have been reported as not compatible with Fabric, which is interesting, particularly this one, Germany. It's probably because of all the very fine detail that's involved there. Anyway, at the top you've still got the project title and a menu bar. It's been quite reduced now and replaced mostly with icons. So what you have here is your new project, your save, essentially, which is called overwrite, image trace, and your SVG and DXF conversion. You've also then still got the pointers, the line tools, the undo and the redo, the delete, the properties, which I'll explain a bit more about in a minute, and your zoom functions. So, where have the rest of the things gone? They're now up here in the tabs. There'll also be a fourth if you've activated either the rhinestone kit or the sticker kit. Menus have now been replaced with mostly icons, which is fabulous, gives it a little funky feel, and also makes it very easy to work. So you've got your new, you've got your save as a new project, you've got count shapes, which is an interesting one for me. This actually gives you a total count of how many shapes are on your mat at that time. Now, because I've got nothing on my mat, there's 0 shapes. Which makes sense. You've also got your image trace and your SVG conversion here as well, and also the choices for which mat you're using. The edit screen has been again grouped and replaced with icons. So you've got undo, redo, cut, copy, paste and duplicate, group and ungroup, and all sorts of different extra functions along here as well that you'll probably be familiar with the names of, but the icons obviously are fairly new. Your alignment tools are now easily recognizable, your flip tools and your order tools. And also further down the bottom you've also got your shape welding functions as well, or process overlap as it's called on here. So that's obviously a new menu, which is nice to see because it makes it a lot simpler to find all your tools. The view menu obviously has lots of the selections that you're familiar with, and also a couple that you might not be. You can take the detail of the mat away and just work with a plain white background, which obviously helps if you're working with lots of fine detail. Now, the properties menu, if I load a shape onto this mat, you've now got the ability to edit precisely the shape that's on your mat, so you can change the size vertically and horizontally. Obviously you can choose to have them linked, but you can untick the box just underneath and then it will stretch or elongate depending on which size you're altering, which I think is a fantastic addition to the design suite. You can also rotate in 1 degree increments, giving you precise control there. You can colour the shapes and colour the outlines, again very useful if you're using a lot of different things on the mat at once. Obviously this isn't printing out, it's just cutting, so in that respect it's not too bad. You can obviously assign different functions to lines and also create dashed lines in various different types. So fantastic if you wanted to set a drawing line with a dashed line to create faux stitching. So that's your properties box. I'm just going to close that now and take a look at a couple of other things. That's your delete key. So when I go back into properties now, obviously nothing's selected, so I can't do anything. Your line tools are still here, but for me actually there's been a couple of design updates. I was just right clicking there, by the way, just to show you a couple of extra things. It's all the things you're used to, but now anyway, these lines. So you can clearly see now the lines that you selected, and you select them by clicking on the different nodes. You've got various different functions that you can do here with those nodes, like deleting them or cutting a shape open. So for example, if you wanted to create something that pops up out of a card. A couple of other things are you can turn a curved line into a straight line, so you can start adapting shapes however you want them to be. And also you can hide these little toggle bits which come out and help you with your curve alignment. So now you can see, on this shape it's probably not so obvious, but if I drag on a scalloped shape and turn on the edit points, you can see that when I add these in, there's a lot of detail going on there and a lot of nodes. So in order to avoid accidentally moving those curves where I don't want them, or getting the angle of the curve wrong, I can turn those off and then start editing individually all those points. Just one more thing to show you before we go. I've got my design on my sheet and now I want to download it, so I've clicked the download button as normal, and here you can see there are 2 options now. One is to download to your PC, which obviously means you're at your PC, you're editing and you want to download it onto your USB stick to take it to your machine. So I can do that by clicking. If I right click, I choose Save As. If I left click, then it will save to my machine automatically, which it didn't used to do before, so that's good. and then I can obviously show in the folder to find that file and then transfer it to my USB stick. The other option is not enabled on my PC because I don't yet have one of the Wi-Fi enabled machines, but once that's connected, that will be another option for you to save it or transfer it to your machine. And that's everything. There's obviously a few notes at the bottom of that screen which are very, very useful and well worth a read, so do take your time to do that. And in the meantime, I think that's everything. Thanks very much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.